A television special airing today on our sister station, CW7, and Wednesday on ABC 25 focuses on the abuse of the synthetic opioid fentanyl and how addiction and death impacts our community and individuals. Warren Korf is our news director for Eyewitness News, and he's here to tell us a bit about Nexstar parent company and the decision to create this special in this, it's a hot topic, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it is. It's, we've been dealing with fentanyl now for several years here, and we're seeing more and more deaths associated with fentanyl, and it's not just associated with the Evansville area. This is nationwide.
Oh, yeah, it is.
This is nationwide, and our parent company Nexstar saw the crisis arise and decided to do something about it. So we're airing these specials. It will air, as you said, tonight on CW7 from 8 to 9. Wednesday from 9 to 10 on ABC 25. It's the same special, just repeated. So that's where we can see it. But they're taking an in-depth look at the crisis. Talking with people who have been affected by it, talking with law enforcement. What do we do? Talking with doctors. How did we get here? Things like that. So that's kind of what the show's about.
I was doing my research about this conversation we're having, and one of the compelling pictures. Now I'm not sure if they use it in there. There was a sharpened pencil, and on the tip of the sharpened pencil was the lethal dose of fentanyl.
Yes.
And it would be almost microscopic. That was jarring to me because it is 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine.
Yeah, and we've talked about how the fentanyl crisis is growing. We're doing more and more stories about people overdosing. Fentanyl right now, according to the CDC, outpaces cocaine and heroin, stuff like that, as far as overdoses nationwide. So it is a growing problem out there, and we as a society need to do something to get a grip on this. What that answer is, well, they're going to explore some of that in the special here on this evening and on Wednesday night.
Now, I think one of the things they're going to talk about to a greater extent is the innovative strategies that are being created and have to be created in order to stem the tide of these deaths.
It is, that's sort of a question that we've been struggling with, not just with fentanyl, but other drugs. Is drug an addiction, and we need to treat it like an addiction and treat it that way, or is drugs a criminal activity, and do we treat it by throwing people in jail, et cetera, and that's a debate that we report on, but it's up to somebody else to figure that out. But I think it's going to go in and investigate some of that as well and figure out, okay, where do we go from here? What is the answer? And look at some things that maybe have worked and maybe a few things that haven't worked across the country.
Well, it's such a big, it is a mega issue, locally and, of course, globally. So we're doing some stories with Eyewitness News that one aired this weekend and then another Wednesday.
Ann Powell had a story that aired this weekend, and she talked with some people. One person who is a recovering drug addict was not on fentanyl, but other drugs as well. And their long-term goal is to actually have a fentanyl clinic inside the jail, to treat people there as well. That's, I think, something that's a dream for right now, but you never know. That's something that may come to fruition down the road. She talked with several other people. The coroner's office really wants to get out and do some educational work within the schools and stuff like that, talking to people about, the dangers of this drug, et cetera, et cetera. Sydney Davis is also going to have a story airing later on this week looking at another aspect of the fentanyl crisis, and that'll air on Wednesday.
I'm sure, sadly, we could do a story every day.
Unfortunately.
And thank you, Warren, for weighing in. And right after this, we'll come back with what is being done locally for treatment by River Valley Behavioral Health, and they have some interesting strategies as well. So documentary coming up tonight and again on Wednesday. Thank you. We'll be right back.